Joining me now is Congresswoman Donna Shalala. She's a Democrat of Florida. She represents part of Miami-Dade County that got hit very hard early on. And she also served as Secretary of Health and Human Services under President Bill Clinton. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Congresswoman. Let me start by asking you what the perspective looks like from Florida, from your district.
9,000 new cases in one day, 29,000 in the last 7 days. It's a disaster. And it's a catastrophic failure of leadership of our governor, of our president. The mayors are scrambling to try to do the right thing. We don't have contact tracers, as you pointed out. Listen, Rwanda in Africa has 12 million people. They have 60,000 contact tracers. 60,000 contact tracers. We're not even in the ballgame. And I said months ago, the worst thing that could happen to us is that we'd have to close down again. If you don't starve the virus from the beginning, if you don't hit it with a hammer and with everything you've got, you end up where we are today. And it is just, it's stunning how our leaders have failed us and politicized the whole issue.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, look at the president with masks. Even the vice president shows up. Everybody else has a mask on, and the vice president of the United States is not wearing a mask. What kind of leadership, what kind of message is he sending? The president has stepped all over the public health messages. This has never been about the date. It has always been about the data. And we just have not done what other countries did and what our public health people told us we needed to do. We have a small window here.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Let's talk about what the window is right now and where the leadership in your state is in terms of, I know there's a congressional delegation. Obviously, there's two senators. You've got a governor, a lieutenant governor. There's mayors. There's county officials. Tell me this. Are there phone calls happening? Are alarm bells ringing? Do people realize after the last 3 days that this trajectory means something very, very dangerous? Florida's on the precipice of something very dangerous. Is that broadly recognized right now?
I believe it is. I believe that people are frightened to death now because the leadership just hasn't been consistent. Listen, people are so confused about who's eligible for tests and when they should be tested. We should have been looking at the census tracts on where the outbreaks were and doing everything we could to surround those places, to make sure that they had masks, to make sure that they were practicing social distancing and testing. We told people to go back to work. Who did we tell to go back to work? The poorest people in my community. The people that work in restaurants and clean buildings. It's not the executives that went back to work, and the people that went back to work live in the closest quarters in Little Havana, in very tight apartments and homes. And we expose them without proper equipment, without proper testing. It's immoral. And we've got a short window here, and we need to hit this thing with a hammer and with everything we've got. And we need to identify the areas where people are really vulnerable and make sure that we have everything in place. We know what to do, and now we've got to do it.